Oh, thank you guys for the warm reception back. This is Michael Buckheiser, and this is Just for Clicks. We may have been gone for a little while, but it is still the same old Buck Nasty. We're still trolling on all the boards I can get a hold of. I love, and if you guys haven't seen me troll a little bit, follow me on the Twitter machine, mbuck41. I like to poke fun. And sometimes poking the fun takes me down a wrong rabbit hole and people get so upset. But I am the king of the trolls. We are punning, we are sound effectsing, and we are just having a great time, guys. So, like I said, we have been gone for a little while. Work sometimes takes priority a little bit. So, if you guys could, definitely help me out here by subscribing to the podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Speaker, Breaker, Stitcher, Catbox, however you listening to my beautiful voice, be sure to subscribe to that. Help me out. Also, leave a ranking. Preferably 5 stars. If it's not 5 stars, I definitely understand why, but don't you be trolling me because I am the king of the trolls. Leave a review and tell me why you love this show or why you hate this show. Either way, I want to know how I am doing so I can improve this more and be more fluid. So, with all that being said, we have been gone for a little while, and since then, we've seen a horrible call. Rams beat the Saints, heading to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs lost to the Patriots. My beloved Kansas City Chiefs lost to those dreaded Tom Brady Patriots. I guess you can say it was Dee Ford's fault by lining up a 1.5 feet offsides. But nonetheless, we are moving past that point. We are looking forward to the Super Bowl, whether you want to put an asterisk by it or not. You have the New England Patriots taking on the Los Angeles, St. Louis, Oakland, California, wherever they're from, LA Rams. So, with this being said, tonight is the Pro Bowl Skills Challenge. You guys have seen me be on record many times saying that I hate the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is the most overrated game ever played on a football field. Let me tell you guys how to make the Pro Bowl great again. Taking a line from our president, Donald Trump, how to make America great again, how to make the Pro Bowl great. I don't think it was ever great, but how to make it great. This is what you do. You take the pads and helmet out of it. You split it up into 4 teams. You have a 7-on-7 flag football game. You have skill players, i.e. you have receivers, tight ends, running backs, and quarterbacks. Play one 7-on-7 flag football game. Then you have the big hefties down below. You have the guards, the centers, the linemen, the linebackers. They play a beautiful 7-on-7 game. You might throw a couple tailbacks in there too, because you have the linebackers in there, and then you let's say fullbacks, like the fullbacks that make the All-Star game. They go over there as well. So you have basically like a tournament. You have AFC skill players, NFC skill players. They play each other. The winner like that plays the winner of the linemen 7-on-7. The AFC like NFC. How exciting would that be? You take the pads out of it because honestly they don't hit anyways. They don't play defense. So just take the pads off. Take the helmets off. Keep the mouthpieces in because they all love their pearly whites. So 7-on-7 flag football game, skills versus skills, linemen versus linemen. Winner play each other for that. I believe is $1 million prize pot. Think about it. Or if you don't like that, each game can be the $1 million game. I mean, they aren't paying anymore. I mean, if they were to keep the teams together, it would still be the same amount of money. So they aren't paying anymore. Winners of the linemen gets $1 million. Winners of the skills get the million bucks. Now that would be must TV. Take the pads out of it, take the helmets off, play 7-on-7 flag football for the Pro Bowl. All right, so now back to our Super Bowl matchup here. I guess you can say. Actually, no. Let's digress here. We're still on Thursday. This is still the skills challenge. I kind of got off track a little bit here, but whatever. This is Michael Buckcaster, and this is just for clicks. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But tonight is the skills challenge. You have the dodgeball game. You have the quarterback passing accuracy. You have the obstacle course. Now, this is what I like to see. I will watch this longer than I watched that Pro Bowl. Let's be totally honest. I want to see Tyreek Hill throw a dodgeball and do a Superman dive over the ball and do that amazing dodgeball stuff that they do. That is must-see TV. I want to see Patrick Mahomes do that accuracy passing thing where they got the spinning wheels with the points on it, and you got to score as many points as you can. I want to see the quarterback, wide receiver, tailback, lineman obstacle course, because this is the only time the offensive linemen really get glory. I think there's a weight challenge as well. I think that's probably going on right now. They're doing the 225 bench press, maybe some deadlifts or something. I'm not for sure what it all entails. I've never had the NFL channel, so I've never got the opportunity to watch it. But I'm definitely going to tune in to this afternoon and try to catch it just to see what it's like. But skill challenge, definitely big carrot over the Pro Bowl. Give me that skill challenge over the Pro Bowl 100% of the time. But, guys, let's make the Pro Bowl great again. Just for clicks. So, like I said, while we've been gone, a lot of things have happening. Another thing that has happened, James Harden. If you guys are living under a rock in this sports world, RTF Sports Talk has talked about it. Unpopular Opinion has talked about it. Every show on ESPN has talked about it. Fox Sports, FS1, CBS, whatever. You know by now, James Harden got his 21st 30-plus point game last night in a win over the New York Knicks. In this game last night, he's tied the most points ever by a visitor at Madison Square Garden. He scored 61 points last night, tying the record previously held by the Black Mamba, Kobe Bean Bryant. But is this remarkable? Does this make the James Harden the best scorer in the NBA? Does this make him the most fluid scorer in the history? Yada, yada, yada. Answer to that question is no. It is not. Let's go by the numbers here, okay? So, James Harden started the game off very, very well. He shot a beautiful three-point shot, nothing but net, stuck his foot out, got a foul. Four-point play. Okay, whatever. Very next time down on the court, he is in the corner. He dribble drives past, I believe it was Kevin Knox, maybe. Finishes at the rim, 6 points in 15 seconds. Awesome. Great job, James Harden. But if you guys watch these games, okay, so the highlights are fun to watch. You see Harden, swish, 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 whatever, right? But I actually sat there and watched the full game. If you guys have ever played basketball at a high school level, junior high level, college level, etc., we've all probably ran this drill called the shell drill. You basically have five players lined up on the three-point line as a shell. They pass the ball back and forth, and the defense, usually a zone defense, basically works on the help side. It is a defensive drill. So, they're shuffling back and forth, whatever. And once the defense gets out of position, you drive and shoot the ball or something to that effect. This is exactly what the Houston offense is, minus the other four players just stand there with a thumb up their ass. James Harden dribbles the ball 35 to 40 times, and then he decides to shoot the three, which he shot 20 times last night. Or he decides to dribble drive the basketball, which I don't have that number off the top of my head, but I think he shot 38 times inside the arc, which 17 of 38 from 2-point range and 5 for 20 from three-point range. Not very impressive. The only thing impressive about James Harden's little streak right now is his amount of free throws that he shoots. Last night he shot 23 free throws, made 22. The rest of the team, the rest of the Houston Rockets team, shot 13 free throws last night. 13. James Harden made more free throws than the Houston Rockets shot. Take that into consideration. So when you say this streak is impressive, yes, it's very impressive. Not anybody in the NBA can score 61 points at a drop of a hat. And I believe this is like, I saw some crazy stat, like he is the first player in NBA history to have multiple 60-point games. Awesome. That is very impressive. Yes, that is impressive. But the streak that he's on, the volume shots that he's taking, like this does not make him the most prolific scorer in the NBA. I don't think currently he is even in the top 5 as fluid scorers. You know, like it just players that can get their shots at like any given time. Number 1's probably KD. Number 2 is probably LeBron James. Then you have Steph Curry. Then you have Klay Thompson. And then maybe might be James Harden. But you might even put, Russell Westbrook up there. Russell Westbrook might be a more fluid scorer than James Harden is right now. Let's be honest. So James Harden, this streak, this is the first time in my lifetime I've ever seen this. This has only been done 3 times better than what your current streak is. All of them were held by the great Wilt Chamberlain. I believe he had like a 25 game and then like a 63 game and like a 30 game streak of 30 plus points. So currently James Harden is number 4 on the most 30 plus points game at 21. He could very well sneak into that 3rd place, maybe even 2nd place, but I don't see him getting 60 straight 30 points games to take over Wilt Chamberlain's mark. But to say this is impressive, it's not impressive because of the amounts of shots that he takes, by the amount of free throws that he gets, by the amount of traveling that goes on while he's making all all these shots. If this was high school referee or college or referees calling this game, do you think he would really be on the streak? Think about that. Other big breaking news from the association last night. Oladipo went down with a very, very nasty injury last night in the Indiana Pacers versus Toronto Raptors game last night. Pacers did come out on top, crazy enough, but Oladipo left early with I've seen tweets say that is a season-ending knee injury. Anytime a player falls in a non-contact injury, it's probably not the best thing ever. I don't know if he broke his knee or ACL or something. They really haven't released a lot of details on it. But when a trainer comes and puts a towel over the injury while the medical staff comes out and puts him on the stretcher, it's not very good. And you could kind of tell in his face that a player knows when they're hurt. You knew he was hurt. You knew he was done. But I don't want to go too deep into that. I want to go into Carmelo Anthony talk here. As you guys know by now, Carmelo Anthony was traded to the Chicago Bulls, I believe it was Tuesday, and he has been released by the Chicago Bulls, meaning he can go play anywhere he wants to. So, earlier on RTF Sports Talk, we were talking about this, and this kind of came to my mind. When I heard this, when I thought about this, my eyes perked up. I typed it real down so I wouldn't forget it. Wrote down some notes. What do you guys think about Carmelo Anthony going to the Indiana Pacers? Yes, there has been talks of him going to the Brooklyn Nets, going to the LA Lakers to play with LeBron James, even going to Miami Heat. I've even heard very, very little speculation that he might go back to Denver Nuggets, but I think that as that Kelly Clarkson song goes, "Dead and Gone" or something like that, or however that went, "Dead and gone, dead and gone." But you guys know what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, think about this: if Carmelo Anthony goes to the Indiana Pacers, he would be instantly the guy there. He would, even if he came off the bench, he would come in the game within 3 or 4 minutes of it, of the tip, and probably still play 30 plus minutes. You guys may think Carmelo Anthony's over the hill. He had a bad year at OKC. He had an even worse year at Houston, but he did not fit on those teams, guys. He is a volume shooter, just like James Harden is. But he has to get in a rhythm. He is not a type of guy that wants to stand on the block and shoot, a couple threes here or there. That's not the type of player he is. Yes, he does shoot a lot of threes, but he also needs the ball in his hands to kind of get in the flow of the game. And James Harden, he has the ball in his hand for 20 seconds every time down the court. Then he decides to pass with 2 seconds left. Not a lot of Carmelo Anthony could do. Russell Westbrook, the same way. So he would definitely fit in the Indiana Pacers jersey. Great. I mean, I'm kind of an Indiana Pacer fan, kind of not. Strictly just because of the area that I am. I kind of want to root for the local NBA team or whatever. So I'm slowly starting to become an Indiana Pacers fan. But with that being said, I would love to see Carmelo end his career on a high note. And he would fit great in the Indiana Pacers uniform. I'm calling it now. Indiana, get him. Don't worry about Kevin Love. Horrible. Get Carmelo Anthony to Indianapolis, Indiana. Put him in that blue and gold jersey. Let him eat, son. Let him eat. All right, guys. So, as always, nothing has changed. We are going to end the show with some quick pick'ems here. Tonight, you have Golden State Warriors, 33-14 on the season, playing the Washington Wizards team that is 20-26. Kevin Durant is leading the way for the Golden State Warriors, obviously with 28 points per game. Bradley Beal leading the way for Washington with just under 25 points per. Golden State is a 10.5 point favorite. But you guys know me and road games in these in these tough times. But with the addition of Boogie Cousins back, Golden State, they've won 5 straight, pretty handily. They dismantled the Lakers the other night. They've had 3 nights off. Give me the Golden State Warriors tonight. They do cover that 10.5 point spread. I just don't think Washington has enough. Next up, you have the Pelicans, 22-26 on the season, take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. We were just talking about Russell Westbrook, averaging just under 22 points per game. They are 29-18 on the season. Oklahoma is a 12.5 point favorite. Well, I guess you can do that when Anthony Davis is out for a while. I think he has a sprained finger or a sprained thumb or something to that effect. I am taking OKC in this one, but I don't see them covering the spread. So Oklahoma Thunder wins outright. Pelicans cover the spread. Next up, you have the Portland Trailblazers, 29-20 on the season, taking on the Phoenix Suns, 11-38. Devin Booker is leading the way for the Phoenix Suns, 24 points per game. Nurkic is leading the way for Portland at 15 points per game. Seeing that point average by the center, leading the way, kind of a player to watch. Yes, Damian Lillard does average 27 points per game for them, but Nurkic is kind of the guy to watch. This is a very, very good team in Portland. I see them beating Phoenix tonight on the road, and I see them covering as well. Phoenix is just not very good, guys. Last game tonight, you have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking 23-24 on the season, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers, 25-23 on the season. Lakers have been bit by that injury bug bad. LeBron James is still out with that growing injury, even though they said if this was playoff time, he would be playing. Lonzo Ball hurts with that high ankle sprain, and Rondo is still out. Obviously, since before December, before Christmas break, he's been out as well. So 3 of your top players for the Lakers have been out. Lakers are kind of struggling with LeBron James out of the lineup. So, with that being said, this is going to hurt me because I'm going against everything that I know right now. But I'm picking the Minnesota Timberwolves to beat LA in LA. They are a 1.5 favorite. I do think they cover the spread. They win by 3 or 4 points. It's going to be a very, very good game. If it didn't start at 11 o'clock on East Coast time, I would probably watch it. I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock to watch the end of the game. I'll watch the start of it, but that's about it. All right, guys, so moving over to the Amateur Association men's basketball, we do have a new number 1 since then, Tennessee. They did pull out the win last night versus Vanderbilt in overtime. We have 3 top 25 games tonight. We'll start in the Big Ten. You have number 6, Michigan State, 17-2 on the season, taking on number 19, Iowa, 16-3. This is going to be a very, very good game, guys. Just for some reason, the Iowa Hawkeyes step up big time in big time games. Both teams have won their last 5 pretty handily. Michigan State is favored by 5. But F that, give me Iowa. Iowa at home tonight, upsetting the Spartans of Michigan State, and Tom Izzo, they win by 4. Another top 25 matchup we have NC State 21, ranked 21 in this week's ranks. They are 15-3 on the season, taking on number 23 Louisville Cardinals. I guess you could say they're my hometown team, but I'm a Cats fan, unfortunately. They are 13-5 on the season. Louisville is so up and down. You don't know what team is going to show up. Or is the team that lost to Pitt that hadn't won an ACC game in 3 years going to show up, or is the Louisville team that played that beat North Carolina by 15 points, I believe, was going to show up? That is the question of the game, question of the week, question of the year. What Louisville team is going to show up? I think the team that shows up tonight is the team that plays Pitt. The team that played Pitt and lost to Pitt. With that being said, I'm picking NC State in the upset. Louisville is favored by 4.5 points. I'm picking NC State to win this game. Next up, 11 p.m. tip-off on the East Coast. You have number 4 Gonzaga taking on Santa Clara. Gonzaga is 18-2 on the season, 5-0 in the WCC. I think it's the West Coast Conference or something like that. Santa Clara is 3-3. Like when I said this earlier in the year, Gonzaga already played the hardest schedule in the months of November and December. There is nobody on their schedule right now that could probably beat them. Let's look at their schedule coming up. They play a losing team, BYU, another losing team. The only team that could possibly beat them is probably BYU. Maybe Pepperdine, but I doubt it. Nonetheless, Gonzaga wins. What's the point spread here? 21-point spread. They don't cover. Gonzaga has a hard time covering the point spreads for some reason. Basically, because it's usually so much of a point spread. 21-point spread in a college game is a lot. That's pure domination. Full 40 minutes. I don't see them doing that. Gonzaga wins, but Santa Clara Broncos cover. And guys, that is the show for today. Hope you liked the little comeback series that we're having here. We are going to be back Monday through Friday here, usually about the same time. We record this right after RTF Sports Talk, and it's usually right after that. So usually up by like noon on the East Coast at the latest. But nonetheless, if you just go ahead and follow the podcast and subscribe to it, you will get an alert every time we upload. We will be uploading Monday through Friday from here on out. We are cutting out Saturday and Sunday because it was a little too much on my old brain there. But nonetheless, we're back. iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Spreaker, Catbox, wherever else you get your podcast. Holler at me, subscribe, leave a ranking. Go ahead and troll me in the rankings or in the reviews as well. It'd be fun. Just be sure to put hashtag BuckNasty. We out.